Hey, Melon Fam, it's your Shelby,
And I'm Erica.
and welcome to another episode of All Things Relevant TV. So today we're talking about redefining womanhood on our own terms, friends. So I think to kick off this episode, let's chat about what does living fully for you like? And when I think about that, I think about what does every component of your life that you have to do or interact with or be in a perfect world, what does fully living like if there were no restraints, if you knew that it would come to be, if you knew that it would happen, what is your vision for
Um, I love this question, and I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest, guys. Because right now in this season of my life, I am trying to figure out what fulfills me. A lot
Okay.
of areas I feel super unfulfilled at. And I just recently, the Lord had to check me because I was like, I had a Bible plan about purpose because I feel like I'm still trying to search for what my purpose is. Why does God have me here?
Mm-hmm.
And I, I always felt like you're just supposed to know that. And sometimes people do. And then sometimes others, you'll find your way and you'll eventually get there. And so for me, I'm like, why do I feel so unfulfilled in a lot of areas? And so I was trying to get to the root of it. And some of my bad habits, like me, I'll overspend, I'll do too much shopping, I'll
Child.
overeat, and so I was trying to figure out why am I doing things like that? And I really felt like it was this culture of instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a big one because even in our social media culture, it's like you post a picture and you get instant likes or instant comments, or I see something online that I want to buy, so I'm going to buy it. So that's instant happiness.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm not really fulfilled. So what does it look like for me to live fully? And of
Mm-hmm.
course, in the future, I want to be thriving in my creative endeavors,
Mm-hmm.
in my other businesses. I want to have a family, a child, a husband, like all of those things. My parents still healthy and living and thriving. Like all of that to me would bring so much fulfillment. But in this season right now where that is not existing right now, what is going to be fulfilling for me right now? And I'm still trying to navigate that.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like taking it day by day. I would love to just have peace with where I'm at right now. I feel like where I'm at and where I'm going, I'm in the middle.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's a hard place to be. So just having peace and joy in the midst of that would really help me feel fulfilled right now. So what would you say? What would be your answer?
First of all, friend, I love that, and I think that we need to normalize being okay with not knowing sometimes, and
Yeah.
being okay with going through the process to figure that out. Because I feel like growing up or being an adult, the world and mainstream will have you thinking that you need to have everything figured out by the time you're 25, by the time you're 30, by the time you're 35. News freaking flash. Like that's just not how it works. And I think for me, it depends on what season I'm in, depending on what fulfills me or what fulfillment looks like for me.
Yes.
I too am on a journey
Yeah.
to figure out, not to figure out, but to really just in prayer and in being honest with myself, what do I want? Because I think 18-year-old Shelby can imagine Shelby now,
Mhm.
and 20-year-old Shelby can imagine Shelby now, and late 20s Shelby can imagine Shelby now
Yeah.
because I want different things. I desire different things. I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
Life has mollywopped me, but God has still blessed me. Let's keep it clear. Let's keep it cute. I think for me, what living fully and fulfilled for me right now looks like, it looks like being happy, being loved, being intentional, being around people, places, and things that bring me joy, that make me happy, and that really, really have my back. Because when life mollywops you, and it will, or it drags you by your unit or your mustache,
Screaming.
one thing that has really helped me and just reminded me of just how blessed and lucky I am is having people in my corner that love me, encourage me, support me, and that show up for me. For me, living fulfilled looks like, meeting the man of God that God has for me and having a beautiful, healthy family that my parents get to see in good health. For me, it looks like, having, it looks like, what else? It looks like moving into my dream farmhouse home that is on my secret Pinterest board. It looks like traveling the world. It looks like being comfortable. It looks like having amazing experiences with my family and friends. It looks like being comfortable in my corporate career, but it also looks like my creative endeavors, such as all things knowing it and other things that I have in my brain that God just put in there. It looks like fulfilling those. I think as somebody who is multifaceted, and Erica is too, which just means, you have multiple passions or multi-passion, maybe that's a better word. You have multiple passions, multiple things that you do. I think for me, being fulfilled in this season and beyond looks like tapping into all the God given gifts that God has given me while living a life that brings me joy and happiness and doing things that bring me joy. That's what it's
I
like for
love
me.
that. So, how do you view yourself and how do you pour into yourself?
That is such an interesting question because I never I never really think about like how I view myself. I always think about how people view myself. Um, And so I like to think or like to view myself as somebody who is extremely intelligent and passionate, somebody that is kind and loving, somebody who actually too much but means well, somebody that, tries to show up and do the best that she can with what she has, somebody that tries to be positive and optimistic. Um, a bad bitch, first and foremost, period. And somebody who is authentically herself and just a good all around person. Like I just pray that like when it's all said and done, that like I am proof um that good people are still out there that love God. That's how I view myself. And how do I pour into myself? Okay, couple things. Um, I'm trying to cut it back a little bit. But shopping, I've gotten a lot better with reeling it back. But like, I'm one of those people. I'm not going to, cut myself off. I try to do it within reason. So like, I like every paycheck for every month. Like, I buy myself something nice that I have on my wish list. So I pour into myself by getting me things that I desire and that I want and that I like and that I deserve. I pour into myself by keeping myself up. Like I always tell people, two things that you'll always see have done. I always have my hair done and I always have my nails done. Baby, I can figure everything else out. But if I got my hair and my nails done, and I say that because I feel like for me, like I don't consider myself to be like a vain person or a materialistic person, but I do try to keep myself up because when I look good, I feel good, and when I feel good, I do good. And so I try to do things that make me feel good and make me feel pretty. And what else do I do to pour into myself? And I just, try to treat myself to like nice things that I like, whether that's travel or events or whatever the case may be. But that's what I would say. What about you?
Yeah, I pour into myself doing the same things you do. Just recently, earlier this year, I took myself to two concerts by myself. I just love the artist, so I was like, you
Yeah.
know what, I'm gonna buy the ticket. I'm gonna go. It wasn't chaotic like trying to buy Cowboy Carter tickets.
Right.
But I was able to get them tickets for nothing compared. So I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna get cute and I'm gonna just go to this concert because I love these artists. I didn't even ask anybody to go with me. I know that if I did, people would go with me, but I
Right.
was just like, Erica, this is something that you want to do. Go for yourself and just do it. So things like that really, I felt like I was pouring into myself. But then another thing is, I've said this a million times, but just going to the gym. And the reason I always say that is because when I'm there, I'm able to put my phone away in the locker.
Yeah.
I'm able to have that hour to myself. I don't have to respond or see who's check my work emails or any of that. It's just me versus me in
Yeah.
there, and it's really helpful. And the boxing portion of that, when I'm punching in bags, keep me out of jail. So I'm just like, it's really my way of pouring into myself. Everybody has their different ways of doing that, but that's one of my main ways of pouring into myself. But then also shopping, of course. If I see something that I want to treat myself to, I don't hesitate.
Listen,
I'm not.
don't ever go shopping with us.
I'm don't because I'm gonna tell you to get it.
We are
I'm
terrible.
gonna tell you to buy it.
I
Buy it
love
in all the colors.
I love shopping with Erica, but I hate shopping with Erica.
Don't shop with me because I'm gonna tell you to get it. Okay, so and then how do I view myself? That I get so awkward with questions like this. It's kind of like when someone asks you, like, "Tell me about yourself," and I just forget who I am. Like, so
Right.
my name is Erica. No, but I think that I am a super empathetic person. I am compassionate towards people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take no shit though. And I feel like I am a supportive person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a trustworthy person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm respectful. I said this before. I'm more so introverted and reserved. I'm a perfectionist,
Mm-hmm.
creative, and cute. Okay, so that's how I view myself. But I think that's a good exercise for us to do because we do need to call out the positive and good
Right.
things and just being self aware, you know?
Right. And I think it's really important to like know how you view yourself.
Yeah.
So if you view yourself in a negative way and you have negative self talk, you can change that because you don't think it, but like people pick up
Yes.
on what you think about yourself. And so I
Yes.
think it's really, really important to exude self confidence, even if you have to fake it. Because sometimes I wake up in the morning, I don't have myself together. We don't look like this all the time. I'm like, girl, you really got to tighten up because what? But I think it's really important for you to be aware of how you view yourself, and if it's negative, like I said, to just be better about being kinder to how you talk to yourself and how you view yourself and how you think about yourself, because you are what you think you are. You
Yes.
are what you put out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so, speaking of that, friend, what is an it girl to you? Like, what does that look like?
My, I won't say idol, but I'll say my example.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce knows Carter. And the reason I say that is because she is a student of her craft, and
Yeah.
she does it with so much excellence. Now obviously she got a team behind her, but I'm just talking about the woman that she is. And then to me, on the outside looking in, she has it all. She's able to travel the world, do what she loves to do.
Mm-hmm.
She's so influential with people in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
She has three beautiful children. She's married. She has a loving family, mother, father, like all of that. To me, you literally have it also. For me, that's an example of an it girl. And I have this wallpaper on my phone that says Beyonce wasn't built in a day. And
Yeah.
it's so true because it's like we see someone's success, we see this it girl, but what did it take for her to get to that it girl? So for me,
Right.
obviously, I mean, we talked about fulfillment in
Mm-hmm.
one of our episodes. So for me, it's like, not to say I'm trying to have what Beyonce has, but she's a great example of that it girl. So whatever it means to you. So at the end of the day, I feel like for me, I have to stay true to myself and the things that I want and not
Right.
let society tell me, well, you should be married by now, or you should have children by now, you should be this far in your career by now. Like none of that makes me an it girl.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say an it girl is living my life the way that I do, with no regrets, lessons learned, and when I learn something, don't make that same mistake again.
Yeah.
Um, living through excellence, meaning like you said, every day I wake up looking like this, but when I get up, put some makeup on, put my hair on, whatever I want to do, and go and do something for me important
Yeah.
to myself. I feel like at the end of the day, it grows what you want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, Beyonce is my example, but I feel like right now you're an it girl in whatever season that you're in.
Oh,
What about you?
that was sweet, friend. That was good. When I think of the it girl, I think about like, for me, it's really how you carry yourself, and are you using the gifts and talents that God has given you?
Right.
Are you showing up as the best version of yourself? Like I think of a it girl as being successful in whatever she wants to do. A it girl keeps herself up. She's confident. She's loving. She's kind. She takes no shit. She's about her business, and she really does not put limits on herself. Um, Somebody that automatically comes to mind for me is Kiki Palmer.
Yes.
Kiki keep a Palmer
Job.
job. I admire her so much, and for me, like she's so smart, she's so intelligent. She has multiple streams of income. She's multi passionate, and she has a personality, in my opinion, from the outside looking in, that just radiates and seems genuine. I
Yeah.
read her book, I listened to her podcast, and I just admire her so much. And I admire that she really just goes for it. She puts herself out there. She does everything at 1,000, and she has been working at this for decades. And the other thing that I will say about her is like, obviously we know that she has gone through some public things, But I feel like she has handled it with grace, and
Yeah.
she has still been about her business. So when I think of an it girl, like obviously Beyonce is the ultimate it girl, but I think of Kiki Palmer because I really admire who she is, what
Mm-hmm.
she's built, and what she's doing. And it's kind of a reminder to a point that you just said, friend, that like Kiki Palmer was not built in a day. Like
Mm-hmm.
she had to work at this, and
Mm-hmm.
she sacrificed a lot.
Yes,
There's
that
some
part.
things that she probably didn't get to do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's an example of like when you believe in yourself and you bet on yourself and you put yourself out there and you're
Mm-hmm.
able to get in those rooms that you know that you can do and be anything that you want to. And I think for me, it really inspires me and allows me to take a step back and be like, okay, like obviously now I'm not on her level, but it's like, okay, like what can you do in your everyday life to be the bird with what you have to be an it girl that shows up like that,
Yeah.
that bets on herself, that
Mm-hmm.
follows her dreams, that keeps herself together, that radiates joy and love and all of those things. And all of those things are in our power. And so when I think of the it girl, I would encourage everybody to think of somebody that they admire, and look at the traits and characteristics that they have and start to emulate them. I think it's my mama always tells me to thank God in advance for what I'm believing for and believing for. And so in that same instance, I think that sometimes you have to start showing up as the person that you want to be
Mm-hmm.
before you get there. And I think that's really important.
Yes, I love that. We love Kiki too. So your takeaway. What does living unapologetically look like?
I think for me, living unapologetically means being honest about who I am, what I want, what I deserve, and where I want to be, and saying no to anything that does not support that.
Yes, I love that. Because at any point you could say, this isn't working for me anymore.
Right. And it's okay to say no, and it's okay to
Yes,
change your mind.
yes. I would say for me is living authentically who you are and not who society tells you you should be,
Oh, yeah.
and not put you in a box. So
Oh,
as
yeah.
long as you are being the goofy, quirky, whatever you are, then be that because the
Yeah.
right people are going to flock to you. And don't ever try to switch up because you feel like you need to be put in placed in a box. So being authentically you is, to me,
Yeah.
that's what living unapologetically is. So
I
that
love
sounds
that.
great. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you share this video, and we thank you for watching. And we'll see you right back here next time.
Bye.
Bye.